Whitney, I have a coach in my life that told me once that everybody comes to a point in their career where they've learned, 95% of what they're going to learn, and they've given maybe 95% of what they have to offer. And the effort it takes to take or give the last 5% isn't worth it. And it's kind of similar to your concept of every role has a, best by date, expiration date. Drawing also from your book, Disrupt Yourself, how does someone know when they're at that 95% and the last 5% isn't worth it, or their best by date is coming up? What's the intuitive signs people know are true, and it might be time to disrupt themselves inside or outside their current role?
Yeah, that's a great question. Well, so one of the ways that you can know is you can use time as a starting point of, like, if I've been in this role for more than 4 years, that's an indicator that I need to sort of ask the question. Once you've done that, then you can say to yourself, am I loving work? Like, am I enjoying work? Am I having fun? Am I feeling challenged? Then that would suggest that you're continuing to be on the steep or the sweet spot of the curve. If instead that you're finding yourself thinking, I feel a little bit bored. This isn't as fun for me as it was. When people have new ideas, you find yourself saying, well, we've already tried that. You find yourself just dialing it in a little bit, wondering what else could be out there. Everybody comes to you and asks you questions, and you don't find yourself asking questions, in part because you're just not that interested in knowing. Those are all signals for you that it is time for you to jump to a new learning curve. One of the things that I think is really interesting, and it's a hypothesis, I cannot prove it, but I believe it to be true. I think, 15% of the workforce gets laid off or fired every year. I believe, again, hypothesis, that one of the reasons that people get fired is that they're at the top of the learning curve. And this has happened to me, by the way, is that you're at the top in the learning curve. You know it's time for you to go. You won't go because you're scared of jumping. And so then the universe, it gives you that nudge. And so those are some markers or indicators that you can look at to say, I think it's probably time for me to be figuring out what I'm going to do next. And I love the metaphor from Saul Kaplan at the Business Innovation Factory. He said, my life has been about searching for a new learning curve because that's where I do my best work. And he said, I swing like Tarzan from one curve to the next. And I think that's a great metaphor and image for all of us, is to swing like Tarzan from one curve to the next.